part 2, where I'm gonna cover things to try, transportation, weather in Argentina, and how much it's gonna cost you, whether you're a single traveler or you travel as a couple with your friends. As usual, I will leave my full notes in the description below and also the mark on the Google Maps. Whether you are going to Argentina or whether you are already in Argentina, both my notes and markers in the Google Map will be beneficial to you. Things to try in Argentina. Again, I've only outlined things that interest me while reading the blogs or watching the videos or looking at the pictures. No doubt that there are so many other experiences that I want to try once I'm there. First one, third of the 4 big parts of Argentina culture is the football. If you're a football fan, go watch a Sunday football match anywhere. They always have a local football match. Immerse yourself into the passionate culture of Argentina people towards the footballs. After that, if you're in Buenos Aires, go visit this one called El Banderín Cafe and Bars. It's a must-visit bar for football fans. They've had a collection of more than 500 flags of big and small football clubs. Now you know why we just had in this episode. The 4 out of their 4 big parts of Argentina culture is tango. If you don't know tango, don't worry. They have a tango house for the newbies called La Cathedrals. Also, they have the tango festival. If you are the expert in tango, go check out the Malditas in San Telmo's. They have it every Tuesday. Gaucho culture is one of their traditional cultures. It's similar to the cowboy cultures that you see from Western Americas, but they have their own styles, music, and literatures. If you're interested in the cultures, go check out the popular outdoor street fairs. It's called Feria de Mataderos, where experience their culture, food, music, shop, and also watch their Gaucho traditional sports, pato. It's kind of sport that they play on their horseback and they throw the ball to the net, kind of like between polo and basketball. Also, they have the traditional date every year at the weekend of 10th of November, where you can eat asado, dance, enjoy Gaucho culture. And there's a great video that I will leave in the link below about the Gaucho culture. Colombia's theater, one of the best theater in the world. It has a history of more than 100 years. Instead of just visit the theater, cost you about $27 US, why don't you just watch a show in the theater, cost you about $60 US. In San Juan, you can try land sailing. It's kind of like sailing but on the land. The winds often get to more than 120 km per hour. If you're in Cordoba, try their festival of Coswing. It's a folk music festival in every January. Another festival called Grape Harvest National Festival. Judging by its name, when the grapes get harvested, they celebrate to it in Mendoza. It's one of the most important festivals in Argentina and held between February to March every year. If in Entre Rios, join their Gualeguay carnivals. It's in Entre Rios every March, and it's the most famous festival in the country and one of the largest carnival in the world. Last thing to experience, I don't find it interesting, but I find it unique. It's called Museum of High Altitude Archaeologies. It's showing the Inca histories. It shows stuff like where the people in Incas use the religious ritual, including the children and adults' mummified bodies. I don't like things like this, but if you're curious about Inca history, why not just go there? Right, transport in Argentina. There are many ways that you can do. If you're in Buenos Aires, the easiest way is through subway. It's easy, it's cheap, and it's convenient. As long as you get a subway car, you're good. If you go long distance travel, get through the bus. It's popular, cost efficient, and it's comfortable as well. Often you find on the bus with aircon, toilet, comfortable seats. Some even have Wi-Fi and USB charger ports. Train is also a good way if you want to travel throughout Argentina. If you have enough time, definitely try train. It gets you to explore parts of Argentina. You get the great scene as well. It can be slow, so if you have plenty of time, definitely try the train. That's what we're gonna do. Taxi is widely available in Argentina as well. Uber is there as well. Flight throughout the nation is also good and available, all the way from Salta to Iguazu, and Ushuaia, but it tends to be a little bit more expensive than the other transportations. Cycling is another great way, especially in Buenos Aires. They have about 250 kilometers of bike lanes, and the governments are planning to extend the bike lanes throughout the countries. They do have a free bike sharing scheme called Eco-Bici. I'll leave in the notes below so you can check it out. Also, you can hire a car. It's good that if you want a bit of availability and flexibility among your trip, it's particularly good if you are in those places where the public transport is not that available, especially in Patagonia and northwest of Argentina. It's generally a little bit more expensive than the other countries, but it's worthwhile if you want to get those unique experience. If you want to drive into the neighboring countries, it can be arranged by the rental car companies and the insurance company as well. So it'll be a great way to travel around the South American. Weather, they have 4 seasons. Summer between December to February, it tends to be the busiest season for the travelers in Argentina. Do be cautious about the high temperature, rain and flooding do happen. Autumn, in between March to May, it's perfect time for wine lovers. As we said, they have the Wine Harvest Festival, but the weather can be unpredictable though. Easter is a peak holiday time for the locals and the tours can be booked up, so be aware of that too. Winter range between June to August. It's a quiet tourist season because it's cold, except July is a holiday for the locals. It's a great time for skiing if the skiing lovers go there in the winter time. And spring is range between September to November. It's ideal weather almost throughout the country for the travelers. The beach along the west coast are less packed throughout this year, and November is typically the wettest month of the year. I'm saying that the best time to travel Argentina is between September to April. That's between the early spring to early autumn. And the cost of traveling in Argentina per person per day, it's gonna cost about $70 in US. If you're on a tight budget, it could go down to about $30 per person per day. For a couple per month, it's gonna cost about $4,200 US. Accommodation for 2 is about $44 per day. Meal for 1 person per day, it's about $23 US. Transportation is about $15 US per day, whereas taxi is a little bit more expensive than the others. Be aware about between 5% to 15% of the tips in the restaurant and bars. And that's it for the full Argentina travel guide. Hopefully it's helpful to you. If you do like travel, consider subscribe, like and comment this video. That helps the YouTube algorithm. And I'll see you next week. Ciao.